You can line up with source energy and have anything in this world that you want. Nothing is off limits to you. If you have the ability to identify it as a desire, then this universe, this time-space reality has the ability to deliver it to you. But it's necessary that you become a vibrational match to your desire. So you can't just be sloppy in your vibration. You can't just observe anything that's in front of you. You can't just turn on the television and watch anything they throw at you, because they have motives for everything they show you. Television has discovered that if they show it to you often enough, you're just going to start vibrating with it. All of the advertising experts have discovered that if they can just get themselves out there, that eventually you will become a vibrational match to what they are offering you. And in doing so, you will attract yourself to it and it will come to you. And so it's just good business, advertisers say, to get the word out there, get it vibrating in your experience. But we want to say to you, you've got choices about what you let vibrate in your experience. Don't let the glut of information overwhelm and confuse you. Simplify it by saying simply this: I have guidance within me in the form of emotions that indicates to me in every moment the vibrational content of what I'm giving my attention to. So, you could say, nothing is more important than that I feel good. Or you might even modify that statement softly by saying, I'm going to do my best to feel the best I can from where I stand at all times. In other words, we don't expect you to think the best thought you've ever thought and feel the best you've ever thought all the time. But we would, if we were standing in your physical shoes, make the best effort from where you stand to feel the best that you possibly can. And as you make that decision, what you actually do is activate your guidance to help you guide yourself from within, from your broader perspective, to the thoughts that are most beneficial and most supportive of who you really are and what you really want. Often, you balk at that idea because someone way back in your early introduction into this physical experience convinced you that you weren't smart enough or wise enough to make your own decisions about what was good for you, but that they would. And then you transfer that expectation of authority from parents to teachers to government to whoever, to religion, and you come away, most of you, into your 20s and 30s and 40s and 50s and so on, forgetting that you had all along guidance within that would indicate what was best for you. And often, you subverted that guidance and replaced it with trying to get approval from someone else, not even factoring in whatever their motive might be. And we want to tell you, their motive is always the same motive. They think they would feel better if you would behave in a way that would make them feel better. And they're right, aren't they? They will feel better if you'll behave in the way that would make them feel better. Wouldn't you just love it if you could make a list of everything that's important to you and the world would line up? No more wars, people being nice to each other. Construction getting done all at once. Don't tear the whole road up, just tear a little bit of it up and fix that, and then tear another little bit of it up and fix that. Just don't tear up all of Interstate 90 at once, please. But what you come to understand is that they're not out to please you, they're out to please them. And it's a hard thing for you to grasp at first when we say we want you to be selfish because you must be, because everyone and everything, every consciousness in the universe has only the perspective of self. You cannot look through someone else's eyes. And when you try, it gets distorted. So when you come to the awareness that you can perceive only through your own eyes, and that when you feel good, you are allowing the perception from your broader perspective that the God force within you is being allowed to perceive, then you understand that the reason that you can feel good under those conditions is because you can line up with that which is good. Hypothetically, people worry about everyone being selfishly oriented. The argument they always throw out is, if everyone did exactly what they want to do, what kind of world would this be? And we say, a really, really good one. Because if everyone did what they wanted to do, everyone would feel free. And if you feel free, you feel empowered. And every negative emotion that exists, hear this, every negative emotion that exists is because there is some sense of loss of freedom somewhere in there. When you think about the range of emotions, when you think about joy and passion and love and appreciation on one end of the spectrum, and despair, depression on the other. Can't you feel that in the joyous end there is empowerment and acknowledgement or perception of freedom? And in the despair end, in the depression end, in the fear end, can't you feel a perception of loss of power? You are the creator of your own experience, you know. But you have to learn to tweak your vibration into letting in what you want. Creation isn't about going and getting something. It's about preparing the nucleus, which is you, right here where you stand in your powerful now, vibrationally to let in the good stuff that you've been asking for. This universe is based upon attraction. There's no assertion in this universe. It's all attraction, which means as I stand in my physical body, and I focus upon things that feel good while I focus, I achieve a vibrational signal that matches good things. But if I look at something wrong in the world, and there is plenty like that you might want to look at, and I activate that thing that I think is wrong within me, and I know I've done it because I feel awful as I'm doing it, and I continue to focus upon that with the well-meaning intent of making it go away or fixing it, I can eventually activate it so consistently that it becomes not just an activated in this moment vibration within me, but a dominantly often activated vibration, which is what a belief is, a thought that's so easy to think because I've practiced thinking it for so long. So now I've got this vibrational habit going on, and now what I really want can't come because I'm on a different vibrational frequency. You can't set your radio on 6:30 a.m. and hear what's being broadcast on 98.6 FM. The frequencies have to match up. And you can't be a vibrational match to not enough money and let more money in at the same time. You can't be so aware of a sickness in your body that it's all you think about, and you feel so discouraged and depressed and frightened about it, and let wellness in at the same time. They are different vibrational frequencies. So when you come to recognize this, then you realize that creating is about vibrational adjustment. But an easier way to hear that is creating is about taking emotional journeys. It's about the journey between worry and hope. The emotional journey says, all I have to do is shift from worrying about not enough money to hoping and believing that there will be enough money. And when I have made that vibrational shift so that when I think about money, I feel calm and good rather than frenzied and worried, when I've made that shift, the universe will do all of the orchestrating. The universe is the concierge, the employment agency, the coordinator, the manager in the sky that will line all that up for me. You don't have enough hours in the day or energy and time to make things happen. You've got to get into the attitude of allowing the good stuff to happen. And the reason that we get so worked up about this is because we can see what's being held in your vibrational escrow. We know every moment that you worked on a job you didn't like, you were launching clear rockets of desire about what you preferred. Every time you were mistreated, you launched a rocket about what would feel better. Every time you felt like you deserved more money, you launched a rocket that put more money into your future experience. Your future experience is so full of all of this good stuff that you want. But here you are beating the drum of where you are, talking to coworkers and to friends and to your mother about how things aren't going the way you want them to go. And here's this magnificent future experience all lined up with your name on it, with your vibrational encoding, ready for you anytime you chill out and relax and practice yourself into more positive expectation about good things coming to you. The entire universe will respond to you. Certainly the cells in your body will respond to you. Everything will respond to you. But if you don't do the vibrational work, then there's not enough action in the world to make it happen. And that's why so many of you don't believe in your ability to create your own reality. You want things and you talk about things you want from a vibration that you are not consistently offering. Good. So you have some things you want to talk about?
Trying to help somebody move up the scale, I've noticed that when I talk to them about appreciating something in their life, that seems to be an easier tool for them to grasp
Depends
onto
on where they are.
than having them be grateful. Like some people say, well, just be grateful. And my observation with people, because I do coaching, is when I get them to just ask them to appreciate one little thing, it seems like it starts to.
Appreciation is a powerful tool.
Is there a difference between appreciation and gratitude?
There is a vibrational difference. Right. You can feel it.
Yeah. Well, I could, but I just wasn't sure if it was just me or whether it's actually a universal.
We have to say fairly that emotions and their labels are not absolutely accurate, because a variety of people could use the same word and mean different things by it.
Yeah.
So it's better to feel your way. In other words, we don't care what word you use. When we first began talking about emotions or about desire or about wanting, Jerry and Esther got endless letters from people who thought we were using inappropriate words. And we say the words don't matter, it's the feeling behind the word that matters. In other words, if you say, I want something, and in saying, I want that, it reminds you that you don't have that, and not having that is the strongest vibration, then it doesn't matter what word you use. People would say, well, Abraham, shouldn't I say I'm already there instead of I'm on the way to being there? And we say, you just have to find what feels best to you, and since everybody's in a different place on a different subject, then each individual just has to feel their way up the scale. There are a number of things we want to say to you. When you're coaching someone into appreciation, if they're not somewhere in the vibrational proximity, they're not going to enjoy your game anyway. Mm-hmm. Somebody in fear, unless you change the subject, is not going to find appreciation. The vibrational gap is too far, you see. Mm-hmm. And so we would like to say to you as longtime teachers, as you are longtime teacher, that if you will just accept that those that are ready for the bridge that you can provide are making their way to you, and those that aren't ready for your bridge are ready for somebody else's bridge. And what we mean by that is, if you're vibrating up here in joy and ecstasy and appreciation, and someone's down here in revenge or rage or fear or despair, while you really want to help them, you can't really relate to them, and they can't really relate to you unless somebody does a quantum leap sort of thing. And we're not encouraging you to quantum leap into their vibration just so you can lead them out of the darkness, because once you quantum leap, you're in the darkness, and you're not any better guide than they are, you see. So we would coach appreciation, but let's say someone's down here in despair. Trying to teach them gratitude might be an easier bridge for them than appreciation. What is the equivalency? What is gratitude about? Let's see if we can define it. Gratitude is recognizing that we can't find an accurate vibrational basis for gratitude. That's what you're getting at. We were polling your vibration as we throw the word gratitude out. At the vibrational basis of it, there is disempowerment, because it says, someone other than me holds the power, and I'm grateful that someone other than me who holds the power is now giving some of it to me. Now, it's a subtle difference between appreciation, but that's really the heavy part of gratitude. There's a sort of disempowerment in it, a sort of, I'm on my knees and thankful for the crumbs that are being thrown. Now, everybody that uses the word gratitude doesn't necessarily mean that, but that is the vibrational consensus that we are gathering here. Now, let's see if we can feel any difference in appreciation. What is the literal meaning of appreciation? When something appreciates, what does it mean? It naturally expands. It naturally expands. So what appreciation is saying, and the vibration behind it, is that it is natural for me to get into this venue of well-being, and it is natural for my well-being to become more. Appreciation is more in alignment with what is natural. But these are just words. Yeah. And words can be misused or misunderstood. To me,
gratitude seems to be something that is a past tense, for me anyways, my definition, like a vibration of something happiness. Oh, wow, I'm grateful for that. Not in a bad way, but just, it's like it's something that's complete. And appreciation to me is in the moment. It's like watching, like appreciating the sun come up, or appreciating being here with you. I'm in the moment. And then when I leave, I was grateful that I was here because, that's kind of a summation.
As we were coaching people, we wouldn't get hung up on any words. And we would use a whole lot of words until you see one that clicks. Right. In other words, you're trying to light them up. You're not trying to get the world to agree that you've used the right word to light them up.
Yeah. All right. I got you.